In today's video, I'm going to be building a new pedal board. I've been considering doing this for a while, but I've been quite busy recently, so I didn't have a huge amount of time. Things have quietened down a little bit over the last couple of weeks, so I decided this was the time to go ahead and start putting it all together. This is what my old pedal board looked like. I've got some nice pedals on there and it's pretty functional, but I didn't really like the wire management on this pedal board. But I've hit the point now where I wanted something a bit more serious that also looked nicer and had some more functionality, so that was my aim with this build. For the actual pedal board, I decided to go with the Rockboard Quad 4.2. I'm mostly just transferring my old pedals across onto the new board, but I did buy one new one that I thought would be a good addition. This is the Hudson Broadcast Dual by Hudson Electronics. It's a really interesting sounding dual overdrive pedal. I really like the design of the Rockboards. I think all the smaller holes for running the cables is much better than the long horizontal metal bars on the previous pedal board. It's much easier to keep things nice and tidy, and even though this pedal board is a very similar size to the last one that I had, there's actually more surface area on the top because you don't have any of the long horizontal gaps. So I actually had a bit more space to work with on this one. So the signal chain goes from my wah pedal to the tuner into the tube screamer, then into the tumnus, and then into the broadcast, then into a boost pedal, and then that goes into the input on the HX Stomp. Then I have the Keeley Caverns reverb and delay in the effects loop of the HX Stomp, and then the output of the HX Stomp goes to my looper. And then I'm sending two mono outputs from the looper into the patch bay on the back that I send simultaneously to my computer for recording and also my amp. Okay, the pedal board is now built and it's time to see what it sounds like. I've got two guitars to try it out with. I've got my Strat, which has single coils obviously, and then I've got my Eastman 335 style guitar, which has humbuckers. I've got a GoPro rolling down here, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing with the pedal board. The way I've set it up is that all of the pedals run into the HX Stomp, and then the HX Stomp itself works as like the amplifier. And then I also have a few modulation effects inside the HX Stomp as well. I'm not a massive modulation guy, so I didn't want to actually buy physical modulation pedals like chorus and stuff. But they are handy to have for some songs, like I played Purple Rain by Prince, and obviously you need some chorus for that. So occasionally it's really handy to have a bank of stuff in the HX Stomp that I can just swap in and out very easily. It means that all of my favourite pedals can live on the board full time. Whoa. As I was saying, it means that all of my favourite pedals can live on the board full time, and then I can use the HX Stomp almost like a patch bay to swap pedals in and out just for specific songs. The first amp I have it set up on is a Fender Deluxe vibrato head. So let's see what it sounds like. This is the clean tone with nothing going on. Turn the volume up a bit. Sounds pretty nice already. I'm a reverb always on kind of guy, so I always have my Keeley Caverns reverb on. And then also heavily inspired by John Mayer, I pretty much always have a clean boost on as well, just to give the front of the amp a little bit of a push. So these three pedals are kind of my foundational tone really. This is what it sounds like with the boost and the reverb. It's very clean, pretty reminiscent of that Gravity style tone. And then above that I have my row of overdrives. I've got some pretty well known ones, obviously the Tube Screamer. This is the TS808 reissue, which is a very lovely pedal. This is pretty much always on whenever I'm playing any Stevie Ray Vaughan, and also like some John Mayer songs obviously. So this is kind of what that sounds like. Then I got the Wampler Tumnus next to that. I have this set pretty clean and it's kind of more of a boost thing as well. And then the newest addition to the board is the Hudson Broadcast. Super excited about this. I've been playing it quite a lot over the last few days between when I finished building the actual board and making this video. It's got two gain stages. The first one is a light overdrive, and then the second one is like a really heavy, almost fuzz sound. So this is what the left-hand side sounds like. This is the light overdrive. And then this is what the high gain side sounds like. Sounds really nice. It's obviously very gainy, and when you play, especially the lower strings, it gets quite fuzzy. So that's kind of the main tones that I get from the Fender style amp. This is a patch that I made with a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of sound. When I was initially setting up this patch, I was kind of basing the sound of it off of his Lenny tone. It's one of my favourite guitar tones of all time, and so I was trying to kind of match it to that. This isn't note for note Lenny, but it's kind of along the lines of that. And I find it also sounds really, really good for his cover of Voodoo Child, which is obviously a Hendrix song. It's very difficult to use the wah pedal while sat down, but I'll give this a go. And then I guess moving away from Strat sounds, I've also got my humbucker guitar. I bought this recently. I haven't done a video about it yet, but I'm thinking of doing a review of it because it's bloody amazing. This is an Eastman, I think it's a T386 is the name of the model. It's basically a 335 style guitar. Literally could be a custom shop if you close your eyes. It's finished in nitro, so it feels really, really lovely. So I might do a video on this in the next few weeks. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. So the perfect pairing for this kind of guitar is a Marshall, obviously. So this is a Marshall tone that I've set up. It's a super lead, I think. So this is more or less the clean tone. I've got it set up so it's quite drivey just from the amp. And then in combination with this, I quite often slap the tube screamer on again. And that sounds something like this. I could play Oasis songs all day. The broadcast also sounds really nice with humbucker guitars. So this is without, with. Just gives it a bit of a push, and then obviously the high gain. So between those 3 amps and the pedals that I've already shown, that's kind of what I use whenever I'm just jamming in my living room here at home. And then I also have a few other pedals on here that are mainly for playing live and convenient stuff, like the looper and this switcher, which changes the channels on the looper. And I'll also talk about the modulation stuff I have going on the HX Stomp. The modulation is actually really straightforward. I have a harmonic tremolo, which I've started using recently, which I think sounds really good in combination with humbuckers and a bit of overdrive. Just gives it a bit of that swelling sensation. I find the combination of the harmonic trem and the left-hand side of the broadcast is really, really good for the intro of Don't Let Me Down by the Beatles. And then finally, I'll give you a quick demo of what the looper does. It kind of goes without saying, obviously it's a looper. The way I use it is kind of cool. So it has 2 channels, so I can record 2 different things and kind of stop-start them independently. And that's what this pedal here is for. You can see this red light switches when I change the channel. So it's really good for when I go busking or playing live, because I can record like a rhythm section and then also have the drums on a separate channel and kick them on independently. One of the main songs I use it for is All Along the Watchtower by Hendrix, so I'll play that now. So there we go, that's the new pedalboard. I'm really happy with it. It fulfills all the functions that I need from my pedalboard. The patch bay is super handy for going to my amp and my computer at the same time, and also making it easier to unplug it and move it from over there to here for videos like this, for example. I also really like how clean it looks now. The Rockboard having all of those different holes for putting the cables into and doing cable management really makes a difference to how sleek and tidy the board looks. Hope you guys thought this was cool. I'm really looking forward to being able to take this busking or playing a gig for the first time soon, hopefully. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you very soon.